Hello and welcome to another informative edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. Thank you so much for joining us as we bring you another engaging half hour of stories highlighting Jamaica's development. Discover how government is building stronger, more resilient coastal communities to better withstand the impact of natural disasters and learn practical steps to deal with diabetes. Our program starts with a word of advice followed by the news. Stay with us.
Every day, we share personal information online, at work, and on our phones. But once it's shared, it can't always be taken back. Protect your data by avoiding oversharing, using strong passwords, and never clicking suspicious links. Be careful what you post. Don't share your live location, and keep your devices updated and secure.
Remember, your data is valuable. Protecting it isn't optional, it's necessary.
Good day, I'm Twyla Whelan and this is your JIS News for Monday, July 27, 2026. Improvements to main roads across the island is being intensified and will continue through December 2026 under the government's island-wide Go Road Rehabilitation Program. Minister with responsibility for the works portfolio, Robert Morgan, reveals that Cabinet has approved an additional $1.5 billion for the program. As a result, roadwork activity is set to increase significantly as contractors mobilize and signed contracts move into full implementation. Particular emphasis is being placed on Western Jamaica and other corridors requiring immediate intervention.
We have already done extensive work over the last several months after Melissa and currently under the $1.6 billion program, and we felt that we needed another intervention to ensure that we can bring back our roads to what they were at least before Melissa. We're going to be doing some very intense work in places like Lucianovo, places like Kingston, Tom Redcom, Arthur Wint Drive, Upper Waterloo Road, West Kings House Road. We're going to continue our work on the boulevard. What we're trying to create are corridors that are pothole free to ensure that we have corridors that are safe, that people can drive on, and people can be comfortable.
With the new school year approaching, Minister Morgan says special focus will also be placed on main roads used by students, school buses, and public transport operators. The Go Road Rehabilitation Program includes upgrading of road surfaces and targeted resurfacing, localized pavement repairs, asphaltic sheeting, and the rehabilitation of damaged shoulders and edge breaks.
This is not just a 1 week or 1 month exercise. We're doing a sustained road rehabilitation program and will continue as long as is necessary. We have Spark, we have our CAPEX programs. All of these programs are coming together serving different purposes to ensure that people are getting their money's worth.
Jamaica has taken a historic step towards transforming healthcare for its aging population with the official opening of the country's first Golden Care Geriatric Clinic. The first Golden Care Clinic was officially unveiled at the Claremont Health Center in St. Anne last week. It has been introduced under the Ministry of Health and Wellness's Community Arranged Response Efforts CARE initiative, with plans to replicate the model in other communities across the island. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton says the initiative is the beginning of what should become the standard practice in the health system as it regards caring for older Jamaicans.
Greater emphasis will be focused on that aging population, persons 60 years and over, that it will be about understanding their particular needs clinically, whether it is psychological needs, mental needs, physical needs.
Dr. Tufton points out that the Claremont community and surrounding areas are home to approximately 500 senior citizens who will now have access to a facility specifically designed to assess and respond to the broad range of issues that can affect older adults. These include chronic illnesses, memory challenges, mental health concerns, falls, and the effects of loneliness. The government program is being led by Professor the Most Honorable Denise Eldemar Shearer and her team at the Mona Aging and Wellness Center. She explains that the clinic will use a globally recognized 10-minute screening tool developed by the World Health Organization WHO and which was piloted in Jamaica.
Persons who go to the geriatric clinic will be screened from all of the other clinics at Claremont. So the community health aides will be trained to do the 10-minute screening tool. From there, they will get appointments to the geriatric clinic and will return to whatever clinic they have come from for the management of the hypertension or the diabetes, and will be referred back into the geriatric clinic if something happens.
Director General at the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, Commander Alvin Gale, says the National Disaster Fund Committee, NDFC, is now in place. The NDFC is mandated to provide policy oversight, general administration, and effective management of the National Disaster Fund, NDF. The absence of the committee was one of several matters raised in the Auditor General's recent report on the country's Hurricane Melissa relief interventions. Commander Gale gave the update during a special interview with the JIS.
In January of this year, we would have written to the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service requesting that the necessary steps be taken as per the Act to cause for a new committee to be established through the Cabinet. The Cabinet did approve the establishment of that committee in May of this year, and I believe the committee has already met and has started to engage around matters pertinent to the National Disaster Fund itself.
312 teachers at the early childhood level have been retained through the HOPE Temporary Trained Teacher Program. The retention represents a critical milestone in stabilizing the early childhood education system, improving student to trained teacher ratios, and expanding the capacity to deliver quality instruction. The update was provided by Dr. Vanessa Morrison-Leon, Project Lead and Transformation Officer for the Transforming Education for National Development TREND program.
Capacity building remains our central theme in our transformation agenda. During this quarter, over 3,300 early childhood practitioners were trained in priority competence areas aligned to ECC standards, strengthening the quality across the sector.
Dr. Morrison-Leon was addressing the Education Transformation Oversight Committee ETOC Year 4 Quarter 1 press conference held recently at the University of the West Indies Regional Headquarters in St. Andrew. She also revealed that 23 Brain Builder Centers had been completed in the last quarter, representing 76.7% of the annual target. 8 additional centers have been approved to expand access to quality early learning, and a further 11 applications for Brain Builder Centers are being processed. And finally, the Jamaica Defence Force JDF is advising the public that ceremonial guns will be fired at King's House during the Guard of Honor rehearsals and parade in honor of the state visit by the President of Ghana from July 29 to August 3. The state visit of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama forms part of activities commemorating Jamaica's 64th independence and emancipation celebrations. It's expected to further strengthen the long-standing diplomatic relations between Jamaica and the Republic of Ghana. The firing of ceremonial guns is part of long-standing military traditions and protocols observed during state visits and official ceremonies involving heads of state. Members of the public in and around the corporate area, particularly in the vicinity of King's House and surrounding communities, may hear a series of loud explosions during the ceremony. The JDF is assuring the public that these sounds are associated solely with the ceremonial salute and do not pose any threat to public safety. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Twyla Whelan. Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much for staying with us right here on Jamaica Magazine. As climate change continues to increase the frequency and intensity of natural hazards, building resilient communities has never been more important. Across 4 coastal towns, government is advancing plans that go beyond rebuilding. More in this feature.
Four towns, 4 plans, 1 vision.
What unites them all is a single coherent national vision. A Jamaica rebuilt stronger, planned smarter, connected more efficiently, and distributed more equitably. Where every region of this island is a functioning engine of growth, and where the resurgence we are claiming is visible, tangible, and felt in the daily lives of every Jamaican. Black River is one of Jamaica's oldest and most storied towns. But Black River grew as many Caribbean coastal towns grew, parallel to the shoreline. Its hospital, its courthouse, its market, its homes, all concentrated along the coast, all exposed. For generations, that vulnerability was managed, tolerated, absorbed, but Hurricane Melissa ended that. Storm surges of 8 to 14 feet tore along the Crane Road corridor. The historic waterfront was devastated. Civic buildings destroyed. Critical infrastructure severely compromised. We will not rebuild Black River as it was. We will rebuild it as it should be. And in so doing, create something this town has never possessed in its 300 years of history. A real planned, consolidated urban core.
The Urban Development Corporation, UDC, is advancing a climate-resilient redevelopment plan for Black River that features a new urban center inland.
This is where Black River's essential public functions will be consolidated into a planned, workable, flood-safe precinct for the first time. It will have a proper town square, a civic park. The buildings will be designed to withstand Category 5 wind loads. Built on elevated platforms above projected sea level rise scenarios with utility corridors, drainage infrastructure, and emergency redundancy. The historic waterfront will be protected by a layer of coastal defense systems, submerged offshore breakwaters to dissipate wave energy before it reaches shore, a concrete seawall integrated with a continuous public boardwalk, and engineered revetments along the most vulnerable stretches of coastline. The waterfront will become what it always had the potential to be, a vibrant public amenity, an entertainment and tourism corridor, a place where boutique hotels and restaurants and cultural experiences make this stretch of Jamaica South Coast a genuine destination. The Black River Plan does not end at the town's boundary. It connects to housing developments, agricultural corridors, tourism infrastructure, and the regional road network across the South Coast. I know the people of Black River are anxious, particularly persons who own property in proximity to the coast that sustained damage. I would say to the people of Black River, we have identified suitable lands to support a structured program of relocation and reconstruction for housing and business. For businesses in the town of Black River, the UDC has been asked to begin dialogue with property owners regarding acquisition of property and relocation where necessary. Various agencies of the government will begin the consultations and sensitization with specific communities in Black River and along that corridor regarding relocation of their communities. The redevelopment of Black River will be proof of concept that Jamaica has learned lessons and that we are determined to apply them not just to the historic town of the South Coast, that is the Black River, but to every parish, every corridor, and every community of this island that faces the same challenge as we seek to build forward stronger. Montego Bay is our tourism capital, and it is time we undertook new investments to revitalize and secure its position as the leading destination in the Caribbean. The Montego Bay Freeport and its surrounding areas represent one of the most strategically valuable and scenically spectacular stretches of real estate in the entire Caribbean. Our plan is to gradually relocate the BPO and light industrial activities in the free zone to new purpose-built facilities along the Montego Bay Perimeter Road, catalyzing vibrant economic activity along the emerging corridor while providing modern, world-class, purpose-designed spaces. This will free up prime waterfront lands on the Freeport Peninsula for their highest and best use. We envision a landmark mixed-use development, commercial, retail, and premium residential seamlessly woven into the urban fabric of the city. And at the heart of this vision will be a performing arts theater. The vision does not stop at Freeport. What we are proposing is the transformation of the entire coastal corridor, from the Freeport sweeping eastward to Harmony Beach Park along the waterfront, and all the way to the iconic hip strip. The top road will be dualized to handle traffic efficiently, while the bottom road will be progressively pedestrianized, as well as the hip strip itself. The result will be a walkable waterfront of rare beauty and vitality. We're also examining ways to enhance the elegant corridor between Sangster International Airport and the Montego Bay Convention Center. That entire elegant corridor has to be redefined and re-engineered to deal with soundproofing by building natural sound barriers, grade separation and tunneling so that you can move across, and building a kind of local road that connects all the hotels to really make the tourism product more seamless and of greater value and greater attractiveness. Like Black River, Falmouth is a case study in the existential vulnerability of low-lying coastal communities to the intensifying impacts of climate change. We cannot simply rebuild what was there. We must fundamentally reorganize Falmouth. The dragline, which is the critical drainage canal running east to west through the town, provides a natural organizing boundary. Major infrastructure works will be undertaken to clean it and progressively modernize it into a functional water feature that both protects the town and enhances the remarkable Georgian character. But more than that, the dragline will serve as a boundary between two distinct and complementary zones of reimagined Falmouth. North of the dragline, closer to the sea, the focus will be on what the waterfront does best: tourism, heritage, recreation, and coastal protection. The magnificent Georgian historic core, the Albert George Market, the Falmouth Courthouse, the Tharp House Complex, the churches, and the Baptist Manse will all be preserved as far as possible. The cruise port and the waterfront will be enhanced and activated as world-class visitor experience. South of the dragline, we will build the resilient civic backbone that Falmouth has never had. We will be relocating the Falmouth Hospital inland. We have identified somewhere. We'll make that known as soon as we have finalized the land. And this will be away from the flood zone with direct access to the North Coast Highway so that it remains fully operational precisely when it is needed most. A new urban center will be built to modern standards of climate resilience and will consolidate critical public services and give people of Trelawney the standard of public facilities they deserve. Further south, anchored by the Trelawney Multipurpose Stadium at Florence Hall, we will finally deliver on the promise this facility has always held. We will be developing the area into a world-class sports center for sports training, major events, and sports tourism, while building around it vibrant housing and a commercial nucleus that brings permanent economic life to this corridor. Port Antonio is unlike anywhere else in Jamaica. It is the birthplace of Caribbean tourism. It deserves a future worthy of that legacy. The Port Authority of Jamaica developed a master plan for Port Antonio built around a clear and compelling vision. A high-value, low-density tourism destination that preserves the unique history and character of this irreplaceable town while unlocking its enormous unrealized potential. We are now moving from planning to delivery, starting with the Port Antonio bypass.
The $81 million Port Antonio bypass, being built to protect against storm surges and coastal erosion, is an essential precondition for the master plan.
Beyond relieving congestion, the bypass will open new corridors for housing, commerce, and economic activity. The broader master plan will deliver 4 transformational elements: a new cruise terminal in the East Harbour, paired with high-end hotels and villas on the Folly Lands, which will establish Port Antonio as a premium cruise destination unlike any other in the region. The cricket grounds will be enhanced into a modern multi-purpose sports and entertainment amphitheatre. A new pedestrian promenade along the shoreline will connect the east and west harbours, transforming the waterfront into a continuous walkable space. And a new public park will give the people of Portland a world-class recreational amenity on their doorsteps. Complementing all of this is the Boundbrook Urban Centre. The Boundbrook Urban Centre is approximately 40% complete. Like the Morant Bay Urban Centre, Boundbrook will be an integrated commercial hub combining public and private services seamlessly in one location.
4 towns facing transformation guided by 4 principles: strategic spatial planning and risk-informed development, building redundancy and distributed systems into critical infrastructure, integrated regional development and resilient economic clusters, and economic diversification and productive resilience.
Diabetes continues to affect thousands of Jamaicans and remains one of the country's leading chronic illnesses. But with greater awareness, healthier lifestyles and early intervention, many of its complications can be prevented.
It is deadly. People have a way of saying, oh, I have a touch of sugar. And I try to explain, it's not a touch, it's a big lick.
Diabetes, a chronic medical condition that affects how the body processes blood sugar or glucose. Glucose is an essential source of energy for the body's cells, but to use it properly, the body needs insulin, a hormone produced by the pancreas. Diabetes occurs when the body either doesn't produce enough insulin or can't use it effectively, leading to high blood sugar levels.
It doesn't cause a lot of dramatic signs in the first instance, but then it, like a hammer, it just comes down on you. And at that point, organs begin to fail and the quality of life starts to fall.
Generally, there are 2 types.
What you call the type 1, which is where the body is not producing this hormone called insulin that really drives all the nutrition into the body cells. So if the body is not producing it, then everything accumulates and will give you the problems of diabetes. And you have to manage that by putting back that hormone insulin. And that little hormone is a protein, so you can't swallow it. Okay? It has to be given by injection.
And the most common?
Type 2 is over 95% of the total diabetes population. And this is where insulin is being produced, in the body, but it's not working right. The tissues are not responding to it, or when it gets there, it is not working in the way in which the nature's pathways have set it up to work, to bring in the sugars and the fats and so on into the cells. So that is the type 2. So what we try to do is assist the body to get it to respond better to the insulin. So quite often that assistance may be by way of oral medications, tablets, and so on.
But there is another type, some would say.
During pregnancy, women now undergo increased what you call body changes, and that can bring out, the underlying diabetic problem. Interestingly, at the end of the pregnancy, after the delivery of the infant, the blood sugars drop dramatically back into the normal range. That is called gestational. That is during pregnancy.
But even those mothers have to take care, because within a few years, they too may develop the condition, and their children born in such condition of gestation diabetes are at risk. So what can persons suffering from diabetes do to manage the condition?
They need to eat less in terms of quantities and spreading it out, okay? Small amounts during the day, right? Avoid too much starches, when you say starches, the yams and the potatoes and the banana and those things, and oils, fatty foods, fried foods, avoid that in the evening. And a Caribbean thing, when you come home in the evening, that's when you have the big dinner. Stop it. Have your big meal at lunchtime. When you come home in the evening, have something lighter, vegetable salad, that kind of thing. Because you don't want to go to bed soon, digesting starch, because your sugars are going. You're not up and about to work it off, so the sugars rise, settle in the blood vessels and cause trouble. So it is the kind of lifestyle that is key.
A strategic diet must be accompanied by physical activity.
When I say physical activity, it's deliberate because it's not necessarily exercise where you go to the gym and profile. As I tell them, you walk even around your bed. Just keep moving for about a half an hour, non-stop. Every day, I have to remind them you have diabetes on the weekends too, So don't tell me about you doing it Monday to Friday.
And these should never be taken for granted. If left untreated, diabetes can lead to complications like heart disease, kidney damage, and other life-threatening conditions.
When you eat and drink, and the body absorbs those nutrients, it gets into the bloodstream. And the bloodstream now takes these nutrients to all the tissues in the body, where they are helped to be taken up in the tissues. In the diabetes situation, they are not being taken up into the tissues. So they stay in the bloodstream and accumulate. There are sticky substances, acids and fats and all of this. And they stick to themselves and stick to the walls of the blood vessels. So when the blood vessels get narrower and narrower due to the sticking, then you'll find the circulation through the organs reduces and problems begin. So the quicker you can act to try and reduce that accumulation, the better. Quite often you can't reverse it, but you can slow it down, which is what we're trying to do. Okay, so early intervention is key. And early intervention comes with beginning to recognize that the condition is there from early.
For more information, visit your doctor and let them know your concerns.
Our half-hour journey through the pages of Jamaica Magazine ends right here for today. Be sure to join us again tomorrow right here on this same station for more information you can use to help make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, do business and retire in paradise. In the meantime, we invite you to visit our website at jis.gov.jm for this and other offerings. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Until next time, do take care and thank you so much for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.